Okay, so what we want to do is we want to get this ready to do an extrude, so we can keep both walls. Essentially what we want to do is I am going to select this object here, and I am going to duplicate it, Control D. And that made a duplicate, exact copy of this this model here. I'm going to go back. So what we want to do is we want to start to get ready to get this model ready to do an extrude, and I want to make sure that all of my numbers, if I'm going to put this into object mode and select it, I want to put this object back at 0, 0, 0, XYZ. And so I'm going to go to Modify, Freeze Transformations, and basically that reset all of the settings to default. And we're at 0, 0, 0. And then I can also delete history. Again, I made a little delete history button here for myself. You can make your own custom shelves. I'll show you how to do that a little later. But for now, I freeze transformation and deleted history here. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to get this ready for doing an extrude. I'm going to start by, I'm going to select the object and I'm going to duplicate it. So I go Control D. And that should, no, see, select the object, Control D, and that duplicated the object. So you can see I have two of the same objects here. I'm going to move one out of the way. I'm going to select the original one here, and I'm going to put that in a layer. And I'm going to call that 1. You can call it whatever you want, but I'm going to call it 1. It doesn't want me to do that. Let's call it first. Okay, so now that is in, it's in a layer here. I'm going to go to this one that I just made. I can make that one disappear. I made the duplicate, and I'm going to bring that back to 0. So the duplicate and the original, are all on top of each other here. Okay. I'm going to take the original and I'm going to make it invisible. So the original is out of the layer, and I'm not going to affect it by any of this stuff that I'm going to do. Now what I want to do now is I'm going to go and I'm going to extrude these walls one at a time. I'm going to go into component face mode, and I'm going to select and edit mesh extrude. I'm going to extrude that out a little bit, and then I go to the next wall here, select just the faces for that wall. If I want to bring up the extrude tool again, press G, and that just brings it out, and I'm going to bring it out about the same, like that. I'm going to select this wall here. Don't select the extrude. Well, actually, I guess you could do that if you wanted to. Let's just try that. Let's just see if that would work. That actually might be a good thing to do. Let's go back. Let's undo that last extrude. And let's just extrude this wall out. I just discovered something that might be a little easier than what I was going to do. And let's extrude that out like that. Bring it back a little too thick. There we go. And let's go to the next wall here. Go G to bring back the extrude tool. Bring it out like that. And let's just go to the last wall here. Grab those faces, G extrude. Ta-da. And there we go. We've extruded those walls. Now, if I take that first piece of geometry, made it visible, we have walls on the inside as well. Now, just want to let you know that these are two separate objects, the ones that I just extruded and the interior walls that I have just made, which is fine. This will render just fine, but you have to be aware that there are actually two objects here that can be moved independently. If you wanted to combine these into a single piece of geometry, I'm going to select both objects here, go to Mesh, Combine. Now we have just one object here. Also, it's going to mess up that that layer that I made is now invalid, and I'm going to have to delete this layer and make a new layer. Or you can, put more objects in that. However, now I've combined these two objects into one. I want to show you one more thing just to be aware of. If I go into component mode, vertex. Remember when I showed you when I combined those vertices that here we have a vertex is 1. If I were to shift drag it, we have multiple vertices on top of each other. That's something that extrudes do. So the vertices that were on the extrude and the vertices that were on the original wall are going to be on top of each other. So I want to go and I want to select all of my vertices, drag select in vertex view, and there's 336 that I've selected. If I go to mesh, edit mesh, excuse me, merge, that brought it down to 186. Now all of the vertices are all singular vertices, and this is one complete mesh here that we've created. Hope this is helpful, and let me know if you have any questions. Thank you.